The meta has shifted and people have made the adjustments, and right now life gain decks are all the rave, and for very good reason. These things are very, very powerful, and I know this because we put together this Mardu lifelink sort of deck today, and the build around is Voice of the Blessed. Voice of the Blessed being a creature that obviously grows over time when you're gaining life, and it eventually works its way up to this absolutely big powerhouse creature that has indestructibility, flying, all that extra stuff, which is really, really good. This also is going to be an angel package deck where we've got this side little quest of where we're building out an angels deck essentially with things like Giada, the Archangel of Wrath, Steel Seraph. These things are also going to be getting bigger because of Giada, but they also provide us big lifelink bodies that we can gain life with over time as well. And then lastly, I wanted to talk about our draw engine here. We've got access to a pretty interesting draw engine in Sigarda's Splendor. It's an enchantment that lets us draw a card on our upkeep additionally from the card that we normally would draw, as long as we have the same or more life as the turn prior. So if we stack a couple of these, we're going to be drawing cards like crazy, which we ended up doing in today's video, which is really interesting. But if you guys want a full deck breakdown, of course, there'll be one at the end of today's video as always, so stick around for that. In the meantime, in the links below, there's a full deck list, and if you guys enjoy content just like this, if you wouldn't mind hitting the like, subscribe, all that good stuff down below helps out an absolute ton, and I would greatly appreciate it. With that being said, enjoy the content, guys. We'll see you back here at the end. Peace out. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're playing some life gain, and we're doing it in the colors of Mardu. Technically kind of Orzhov, but we splashed in red just so we can play things like Archangel of Wrath. And opening hand here is good enough to keep. I don't love it, but it's good enough to keep. But yeah, we haven't played any life gain in quite some time, to be honest, so it should be a lot of fun. And unfortunately for this player here, we should be able to eat mono red decks up for lunch, so this should be pretty easy. I don't think it's too easy because they are going first. There's a chance here, but the fact that we gain life on almost every play makes things a lot easier for us to manage. All right, Giada coming down here, hopefully getting us into like a Steel Seraph situation early, right into an Archangel of Wrath, so on and so forth. Let's just hope they don't burn the Giada, because the Giada is pretty key here for us being able to get the mana we need to play like the Steel Seraph and whatnot, because we don't have double white here. There's the pump from the opponent, taking 7 from us. That is pretty brutal, not gonna lie. Nice. We don't actually even need the mana here, so we're gonna go with Steel Seraph, and we're gonna go ahead and right away give the Giada that lifelink. Getting in for that, gaining 2 life back. The opponent did have a pretty explosive few turns there, but I can't imagine they're going to get a turn that big again. Not to mention we have a 4/4 now to block with. Very strange attack here. It definitely screams out some sort of burn mechanic. A simple play with fire gets the job done against either one of my creatures, so I'm not going to allow that. Another Giada. All right, things are very interesting right now. Let's go ahead and give Steel Seraph here the life link. Let's attack in. Going to 14. Obviously, the opponent could play some sort of burn mechanic, like I said, onto the Giada most likely, but they instead go for the blood token, dropping Kumano, which makes my Archangel of Wrath here much better. Definitely blowing up the Swift Spear here. I am aware that the Voldaren is a little bit bigger currently, but the Swift Spear has the potential to become much bigger. Now, I don't see how the opponent honestly comes back from this, but you never know. You never know. Do they have a deal 4 here? There are red spells that do deal 4 damage, and I've been seeing a lot of them lately, so we'll see how this goes. I may end up regretting this, but either way, I gained 5 out of the deal, so. Or that works. Do they have another one? Twinferno, giving double strike, so I don't even gain the life. Well done. Well done. Well, this is actually gonna probably put a little bit of a damper on your parade here.
Be brave.
All right, we gained the 5. We're back to 19. They're down to 5. Like I said, lifelink, honestly, man, with mono red, we absolutely eat this deck alive. It's too powerful. It's too much for them to handle. They have a terrible attack too here, but they're gonna take it anyways. Sure. Giada may die here. Definitely a possibility. I'm just basically trying to call a bluff that I think that maybe their last card in hand isn't quite enough. But it is. Okay. Back to 20. There's the scoop. There's the scoop. GG's. That was very, very simple. And we went second, which was pretty clutch. So nice big win there. All right. Well, we took home another big W there that you're not going to see, unfortunately, the opponent. We got a big roper again. Big roper that just kept taking their time. They knew they were, beat. So they just were being a little bit, unfortunately, not the coolest about it. So gonna have to cut that one out of the video, unfortunately. Opening hand here is pretty good because we have the Giada early into some angel action, but at the same time we have Voice of the Blessed as well. So hopefully we can find some ways to utilize the Voice of the Blessed. We don't exactly have a great hand here for life gain, but you know what? It should work. The theory with these lands here is that, we can use them immediately, but also taking damage with them is not that big a deal just because we gain so much life back, right? All right, get a little Giada action in here. The opponent already hitting us with a cut down feels pretty bad. Mono black's not exactly the best matchup for us. We definitely want more aggro, but mono black has a lot of removal, which makes things a bit tough. Okay, so they are a bit aggro. That's good to know. That is good to know. I think going Sarah Paragon here is really good because then we can replay the Voice of the Blessed as well. I obviously have the Wandering Emperor play as well, though. Is Wandering Emperor the play here? Maybe. Yeah, I think it is. Just because that the Misery Shadow gets absolutely massive, so another cut down, huh? What if we gave it a 1/1 counter? Let's give this a 1/1 counter. It might be the wrong move here. I'm gonna be honest. This may not be the best move for us, but I'm gonna hope that it is.
I've learned much during my travels.
All right, the cut down misses it, but of course they may have another one. Nope, they do not. We have first strike as well, so even if they want to give death touch to one of these sleepers, we're in good shape. But the Misery Shadow still quite a problem we have to deal with. Nope, they go with the death touch. Cool. That makes things very easy for me. They should have definitely threatened with the Shadow because I didn't have a good block there. So things panned out for us here, which is great. Man, as much as I want to kill this first, I think I got to kill this and then we can exile it with this. So I think that's the play. That's not the move, my guy. I got first strike. Yeah, they just realized it. That'll take care of that. All right, I mean, that should just about do it. Oh, why would they tap it that way, bro? I did not want Giada to tap. Oh my goodness. The game of auto tapper just completely just screws me over. Tries to level the playing field for the opponent. Not fair. Not fair, auto tapper. I see what you did there. Wow. Brutal. All right, we do have Voice of the Blessed able to get replayed from the graveyard, which is fantastic. You're gonna do it again? Wow, I'm glad I saw that. Well, no, not smart. White, white, yes. All right, and we go here. And we go here. Maybe, gosh, I don't know. It all depends on whether or not Voice of the Blessed was something we wanted in the battlefield right away. The mana right there was really tricky. I'm not going to lie. I might have misplayed that one a little bit. Giada wanting to tap itself for the Paragon didn't seem like the right choice, but I think what happened there is that it didn't auto tap this. Instead okay, I figured out where I went wrong. Okay, I thought I was gonna have 2 white sources there for the Voice of the Blessed, but the auto tapper got us again because it tapped this white source as a colorless, because I went white here, and it went colorless when it should have gone with this instead. That's such a bummer. All right, do we let this go? I think we do. I think it's done its, it's ran its course. So I'm just bummed out right now, man. This is not going as smooth as I would have loved, because of the fact that the auto tappers are absolutely destroying us right now. We just have to start manually tapping with this deck, because it requires us to take so much damage. All right, we do need double white, and unfortunately to play this, right? So let's go red, black, play this. All right, and then we go white, play this. All right, we're on full auto tapping right now. It's fine though. It's all good. We have the Voice of the Blessed now into play. Let's give this the lifelink because it has vigilance, and send it over the top. Do we leave back the 2 blockers? Maybe just leave back the Paragon to block the Shieldred if they want to swing in. I would be willing to make that trade, I think, just to make sure my life total stays at a certain point to draw cards with the Splendor. Voice of the Blessed is going to become a 3/3 as well. I don't know. I know this is just really tricky. I'm not going to lie. Ever since that auto tap incident, now I'm just my brain is kind of flustered. We could have maybe just sent everybody there. I don't know. Getting them down to 5 makes no difference from 5 to 10 here. So we don't necessarily need the card draw. We may just let the Shieldred and the Sleeper get through, so we can have an open attack here on the other end. The opponent, though, definitely in Invoke Despair range, so that might be coming down to you. Ugly game, and I completely understand that I made some unoptimized plays here, but still, I think we come out of this as the victor here. They do send Shieldred and the Evolved Sleeper, no surprise there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with the Shieldred's card draw, so that's still well out of range of being able to kill me. All of these can go over the top pretty much, so we'll be fine. And that's quite the top deck, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, my heart just dropped. For 1 second there, I thought maybe the auto tapper was going to get us with that Giada again. I probably should have looked before I sent that out. So that's something we learned, though. I mean, we live and we learn as we go along with these decks, because we play new decks every day, right? So we're kind of learning as we play as well. So yeah, we just got to be very aware of that auto tapper, especially with Giada on the field. So GG. All right. Solid game right there. Solid in the sense that we won. Not solid in the sense of how I played. Very disappointed in myself there. It's all good though. As long as I'm learning, that's all that matters, right? Problem is, I don't think I'm actually learning. I'm probably gonna make the same mistakes over and over again. Alright, I get to go first. Wow, a lot of 4 drops here, but we do have the Voice of the Blessed. Not the mana to play it though. Unfortunately, gotta dump that one off. Keep this. Get the Veteran down. Overseer on 3 to draw a card seems fine. Voice of the Blessed would be really good right about now. Duress doesn't hit anything, thank goodness, because if it did, after we take a mulligan, it would be really bad. All right, well, now they got an idea of what it is we're playing. They've got some inside info. I still am not sure what they're up to. It could be another mono black deck here. Probably is, but never mind. All right, it's an Esper build. I am going to go with the Overseer here in the spot, just because if we find a 4th land drop, it opens the door for a few more plays. So there we go. This is going to be really clutch if we can keep it on the field and getting us value. I think it's a pretty much a no-brainer. The amount of mana the opponent has available, there's no counter spells ready for us, so As long as they don't deal damage to us, we're in good shape. I'll take it. All right, we get extra cards. Extra cards. Let's go. Nice. We get a red source, which is something we are looking for. I say we get in Giada here and follow it with the Inspiring Overseer. Just start absolutely going crazy. All right, up to 26, 27, 28. Swing through here. Definitely drawing another card here. We are susceptible to a pretty big sweeper here, though. I'm sure the opponent will have something. Cruelty of Gix, huh? Are you going? Oh, they're probably going to get the Archangel Wrath out of my hand. But we're still left with the Seraph, so I mean, that's still positive. Oh, never mind. They're just going to take an Overseer from the yard. An Overseer for 5 mana doesn't scream value to me, so I will gladly accept that play. Doubling up on the Splendor seems so fun. It really does. But then there's always that option too of just going Archangel Wrath, blowing this up. I'm gonna avoid. I think we should avoid the sweeper. I think the Splendor does a better job of avoiding the sweeper here, because if they sweep us up with some sort of depopulate next turn, these will allow us to just keep reloading. So I think that's more important than killing this and getting damage through. Let's just let's pass the turn. I'm gonna play the Seraph at full value. Let's just pass the turn, play some blocks here with the Overseer. I don't love it, but I do think it was the best option for us here. Ledger Shredder. Okay, that's tough. That's pretty tough too, because now they forced me into a situation where it's like, do we want to block with Giada here? Oh, they don't attack. Okay, that would have been really tricky for me to make the decision on too. Wow, surprised they didn't go for that. All right. Let's go make sure we don't tap incorrectly here. White, white, red, black. All right. And then we blow this up, I think, because this is going to be a lot more problematic than the Overseer in the long run. So let's get rid of that altogether. And still no attacks from us. Sitting on a 4 or 5 Wrath now, which is great. And our hand is just going to keep growing and growing and growing. Void Rend, that's cool. I think, honestly, they should have blew up a Splendor there. Because it's inevitable that we're going to find another Wrath with this many card draws per turn. Another Giada. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. Let's go with 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go with this. Nice. And we do tap Giada with this, which is fine. I don't necessarily think we're going to be sending in any attacks here, so yeah, let's just go ahead and play out the Archangel now. So now we're actually foolproof against sweepers as well, so if they want to try to sweep up the board or kill us, we will be getting our creatures back to our hand thanks to Lisa. So this should pretty much solidify the game, unless of course they run out of Farewell. Farewell is the only thing that could blow up this entire situation for us. It took us a little while to get here. I think there could have been a lot more aggressive routes I could have probably taken here, but ultimately I think the end game is the exact same. And ooh, there's the Voice of the Blessed. We've been looking for that. Voice of the Blessed comes in. We gain some life. Here's where it gets real, though. We're going to go ahead and play this down. That's more life gain. This is only going to require 3 mana from us, right? And then actually it's only going to require 1 mana because we got 2 legendaries, right? So let's go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 5, 6. We'll play this out. All right. Trying to gain as much life as possible here to get the Voice of the Blessed. Absolutely. To the moon. All right. So we're going to gain 2 more here. Giada comes in the hand. We attack into the opponent here with this, as well as, I mean, I guess this. I know they have the 2 powered creature there, so they may make a block, but we get it back to our hand, and we have the ability here to go with the Seat of the Empire. So we've got options here. And that's how I figured they would do it. All right, perfect. Takes care of that. And we gain 6, kill that. Voice of the Blessed is now a 9/9. And we end our turn. Now we could also play Giada and then kick out the old Giada, which then this Giada would be much bigger because it's gonna have the 1/1 counters. But there's the scoop. It was just a matter of time, man. We were absolutely just rolling the opponent at this point in the game, going absolutely crazy. Voice of the Blessed was going to be an indestructible flying creature that just probably ended up at 20/20 next turn. So good freaking game there. All right, that was about the full capacity of what our deck does, which is awesome. I'm glad we got to see it. Wow, opening hand here is sketch, man, because it could be so good with the 1-2 punch combo. I'm gonna roll the dice, guys. This is not a smart keep. I should absolutely never keep this hand, but if we find a white source off the top, we just run away with this thing. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. Probably not very good. I mean, look at our entire hand. It's just double white sources all across the field. All right. We should probably concede now, but we're going to go ahead and play it out a little bit. No, not yet. Not yet. All right. The opponent has something interactive for 2 here. Infernal Grasp or some sort of go for the throat or something like that. All right, nice. Overseer. Love that. Don't love that. I had a feeling that was what that was going to be. All right. Really could have used that Overseer. Could have used that big time. Would have upped our chances of finding the mana we needed. All right, let's try it again. Let's try it again. Already knew this was going to happen. Had the nice ready to roll. Yikes. Okay. Attacking in again. Come on, man. Let me have it. Let me have it. Oh, brother. Well, this is what I get. It's my own fault. I knew what I was keeping. I had a feeling we were going to throw this game. This was an absolute throw. It's fine. Bummer, dude. Absolute bummer. I mean, honestly, though, if we find a white source, there's still a chance here. I mean, the hand that we have here is absolutely absurd. And what do you got now? It's an Invoke Despair. That's a bummer. That's a lot of damage, man. The Puppeteer Invoke Despair combo. Tough. Hey, we found another white source, but guess what? We can't play anything because it's tapped. All right, this deals 2 damage every time they draw their second card. Yeah, 2 damage. All right, all right. All right, all right. No problem, as long as they don't draw any extra cards. Okay, that's a problem. That is indeed a problem. Okay, what do we do, guys? What is the proper sequence of events here? Do we go with the Wandering Emperor now to make sure that they don't draw an extra card and just kill us that way? And yeah, I think that's the only way we can do it. If we pass the priority back to them, give them another turn, they untap, they could, in response to me doing that on their attack, draw extra cards and just win the game. So I'm gonna go ahead and kill it right away. I know that opens up the idea of them attacking into the Wandering Emperor, but they don't take it. They didn't need to take it. All right, fair enough. Why did I keep that hand? That was silly. That was so silly. Look at our entire hand. It's crazy. It would have been bonkers, though. Let's be real. If I would have hit the white source, that would have been bonkers. All right. No more send it mentality on the opening hands. I gotta chill with that, man. I'm such a, you know, send it kind of guy. Like, you see the hand and I'm like, I ain't taking less cards. Send it. We're gonna hit what we need. I'm like that when we play poker too. It's like, man, you chasing the flush or whatever. It's like, I'm for sure gonna get it. You're never gonna get it. Don't be silly. All right, veteran in play on 1. Can we get a Voice of the Blessed on 2? Can we go absolutely bonkers here? I love that we have the Splendor as well. All right, get in there for 1. Still no plays for turn 2 or 3 here. Hopefully we get an Overseer off the top or something. That or a Voice of the Blessed. Just something that's playable so I can maximize my turn here. There we go. That is not bad. Not bad. The opponent on Grixis. I've been seeing a lot of Grixis lately, to be honest, man. Grixis is it's a very powerful archetype right now. They've got the budget lands though, but on their way to Mythic, so who knows? Maybe gaining life is part of their game plan. We do have those lands in our deck as well, but they're there because we want to be gaining that life. All right, wish me luck here. They have 2 mana. Make disappear is a very, very high possibility. Hopefully they honestly kill one of these. That'd be great, so I can get the Splendor down. I think the Splendor is honestly more important than most things in my entire deck. That's fine. Yeah, there's no way to save it. Okay, that's fine. Just checking to see if there's a way to save it. There is not. Splendor in play now, looking to draw some cards. See if the opponent's got a way to deal damage to me this turn. Probably not. There's not a lot of things with haste and Grixis. Or direct deal damage to the face. There's nothing. There's really none of that stuff, so. I'm so excited for new cards, guys. Happy Friday, by the way. But I am so excited for new cards, man. It is going to be such a good time. So many cool cards coming out, man. I've been looking at the spoilers here and there, but haven't quite got to read all of them yet, but some of those Planeswalkers look like an absolute blast. There goes Giada. We are going to get the extra card, though, this turn. Huge Splendor there. Another Splendor as well. Ooh, and a Voice of the Blessed. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What to do? What to do? What to do? What to do? I think it's the Wandering Emperor. I think it's the Wandering Emperor and we take out the Appraiser, to be honest. I don't see why not. A little bit of a slow play action for us here. A little bit of a grinder, but you know what? We're going to get there. We're going to get there. Cut down. Cut down. Bust down, Tatiana. All right. 4 mana still left over. Probably going to be a Shieldred, which is annoying. I won't lie. Shieldred would be really annoying, actually, with Splendor, wouldn't it? All right, the Appraiser has sent the attack through, which does call upon the Wandering Emperor. You've summoned the Wandering Emperor. Clearly the opponent having some instant speed interactions here, though. Wasn't make disappear, thank goodness, but maybe a burn spell. I don't know. I don't know what would be holding the priority like that. Fading Hope.
You are not much of a roadblock.
Who knows? All right, Bankbuster's fine. Are they going to draw a card right away? Probably. All right, we do have to remember, though, that that can crew at any point as long as they drop a creature with 3 power down. So, got to keep that in mind going forward here. I think we go with... let's go with another Splendor for sure. And we're going to make the Voice of the Blessed absolutely massive here. All right, we eat some damage here. That's fine though. We gain it right back. Back to 25. It would be a lot better though if we gain the life after the white source resolved. It is a bummer that it does do it on the cast. I mean, casting is much better in the long run if you're really thinking about it. Like, you want the card to say that, but in this particular instance in time, you don't want it to say that. You want it to say when it enters the battlefield. That way the voice of the blessed goes off a little harder, but I guess I kind of screwed that up then in the long run, didn't I? Because I could have played the voice of the blessed first. Well, I guess it depends on what you're trying to do, because I think we gained more life that way. And we're probably going to get 2 cards as opposed to maybe getting only 1. Yeah, there's 2 ways you could have gone about it, but I think this way was fine. We're still at 25. We got a Voice of the Blessed on the field. They're untapped, though, for a lot of mana. Invoke Despair could absolutely shake us down here, which would be a bit of a bummer. A Braid. Okay, that's tough. That is tough. We kind of needed that. That was going to go absolutely crazy for us. The opponents can crew the Bank Buster, like I said, if they find like another Corpse Appraiser here, or like a Blood Tithe Harvester. But instead they draw a card. Cool, cool. As long as I'm drawing 2 additional cards with the Splendor, I will always be happy. It is really hard to beat us once we have 2 of these on the field, huh? Like, we're just going to be drawing cards like crazy. Nice. We get this into the play, which means we also get our friend here, Voice of the Blessed. All right. And we plus on the Voice of the Blessed, which doesn't avoid the Abrade again, though, which would be such a bummer. I hope they can just give us 1 turn cycle without blowing it up. Yeah, no shot, huh? No shot. It does avoid cut down, though, which is great. It's very unlikely. Yeah, okay, that's fine. That is totally fine. You hate to see it, but you know what? I am probably going to be able to get the Voice of the Blessed to its indestructible size very soon. So if we can do that, that'd be great. Obviously, another Invoke Despair, though, could easily take care of it if I don't have enough creatures on the field. So we got to be careful with that. All right, 1 treasure. Ability to crew. Ah, they can crew here. Bummer. They probably will take the opportunity to do that because they can bring my life total down to a point where we're not drawing extra cards this turn, and I can't block because it would be a very bad block for me to do. So no extra cards for me this turn. A little bit of a bummer there. But we do have a lot of really good cards in hand here, so we can make things happen. All right, the opponent had some really good turns here. I mean, again, Invoke Despair, just an absolute earth-shaking card here. It's just so powerful. So powerful. That's a card. That's a card. Honestly, I think I want to play it for its small size so I can just get both of these in here and just gain a boatload of life. I think that's what I'm going to do here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, you know what? I might just kick the Wrath here for 1. Kick the Wrath for 1 here. Take away their ability to crew. And here's where we start to take over the game. We definitely avoid a Braid now. We definitely avoid Cut Down. So there's not a ton of removal spells that they might be running here that could take care of this. Obviously, they do have things still that could. Things like Go for the Throat, Infernal Grasp. But we haven't seen those yet, which makes me feel a little bit safer because things like Invoke Despair, again, do get around that. But we have so many creatures on the field. Hopefully it survives. Nope, Go for the Throat. Oh, go figure. Darn it. Darn it. That is such a bummer. We were so close to getting it to indestructible. Next turn, we definitely would have had it. Bummer, man. And we lose our enchantment again. Wow, talk about a turn of events here, man. Holy cow. Man, this card single-handedly got him back into the game. We had so much value on board, too. All right, the opponent drawing more cards, but they are done for the turn. All right, let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. Give this vigilance. And we're good to go. Down to 9, up to 32. We still have a lot of threats on board they got to answer here. Sweepers are not really a thing for them, I don't think. You know, Gix command doesn't quite get the job done. So I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good that we can close this game out. That's a pretty clear indicator that they're stressing a little bit. Because that doesn't stop us from hitting lethal here. It was a big grind fest, but I'm telling you, I think we might have this, guys. I think we might have it. That life gain there on the card draw, though. I guess Shieldred gaining them life is what they were trying to shoot for. Smart. Very smart. Man, we had lethal, but not quite able to get there now with the Shieldred. Bummer. Is there anything that would get us there? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We need 2 points of damage. No, I don't think there's anything in our deck that provides that. Oh, it does actually. Archangel Wrath. Archangel Wrath would be the win con here. Yeah, we'll eat that all day. We eat that all day long. All right, they're tapped out. Let's see if we can close this out. Come on, Archangel Wrath off the top, just for the win here. Oh my God. I almost feel a little bad though. You know, I almost feel a little bad. Not really though. The opponent had some really good hits in this game. I'm telling you, we should have ran away with this game a lot sooner. So opponent's completely tapped out too. So the only priority holds here is the crew ability of the Bank Buster. That'll do it. They are going to be in absolute disbelief when they see the card that I just top decked here. And I don't blame them. I really, really don't. That was pretty wild. But, you know, if I have to eat 2 Invoke Despairs, you're going to eat this L with the Wrath, okay? Oh, man, what a game. GG's. I mean, I'm happy, but you probably don't want to ask that opponent. That is going to conclude today's gameplay portion of the video. We are going to break the deck down and talk about it a little bit further. Before I do that, though, I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who did make it this far into the video. I appreciate it so very much. It helps an absolute ton with the YouTube algorithm stuff here, so I do appreciate that a lot. And I, you know, want to just say thanks for that sort of support. With that being said, let's take a look at today's deck, man. It's a build around, of course, around Voice of the Blessed. We've seen a lot of lifelink decks currently in the meta, and I wanted to try one myself because they seem very powerful, and they definitely were. The Voice of the Blessed is a very powerful creature that basically grows over time. We all know what this card does by now, right? It grows over time whenever you're gaining life. Every time you gain life, it gains a 1/1 counter. Once you've reached 10 counters, it becomes indestructible. And at what is it, 4 counters, it gains it gets vigilance and flying and all that good stuff. So it's a very powerful creature if not dealt with. Obviously, it can be hit with spot removal up until the point where it becomes indestructible. But it is a threat that must be answered, which is very, very good. And what's nice about this card today is that we built around it in a Mardu shell, which means we can already go with a very powerful archetype, which is already out there right now, which is Mardu Angels. And so we've got the Giada package here. And Giada doesn't necessarily contribute right away on, you know, face value for lifelink or gaining any sort of life here today, but Giada is an important piece because it adds mana to our pool to play our other angels, and every other angel we have also has lifelink or some way to gain life. And also another thing is that Giada is going to obviously make them more powerful when they enter the battlefield. So Overseer is how we kick things off. A little bit of life gain and a card draw just to get that extra pump through the Voice of the Blessed. No significant life gains here, but at least it's a nice little flying body that can come in again for 3/2 if Giada's on the field, and also trigger the Voice of the Blessed one time. There's a nice little synergy there, and I don't mind grabbing a card either. And turn 4, we got things like Archangel of Wrath, obviously wanting to kick this though for 5 or 6 mana to get the additional damage through and gaining extra life. But it's a very powerful card that we don't need to go into in detail, but you know, can definitely win us the games, if not win us every game. Sarah Paragon was a nice little addition to this deck as well, because Sarah Paragon is a nice little 2-of. It's an angel, but what's good about this card is in the late game, if we get swept up, we can go ahead and bring things back from the graveyard to the field. Also, it adds a little bit of lifelink and or life gain to the deck, because when these things die again, they add life to the pool as well. We get to gain 2 life when they go to exile. And then what other angels here? We have Steel Seraph, which is technically a 3-drop as well. Steel Seraph is going to give our creatures lifelink or vigilance or flying, and a lot of our creatures are already flying, to say the least, and a lot of them have vigilance. So Steel Seraph is going to be giving that lifelink to most of our creatures, especially if we have Giada on the field and we go turn 3 Seraph. We can give Giada that lifelink right away, which it already has vigilance and flying, and we can start gaining life that way as well. Seraph, just a very powerful tool. And the Lisa's the other angel. Okay, Lisa's another one I wasn't sure about, but I splashed in 2 on the top end because it's a very big body. It's 4/5, it's flying, it's lifelink, it's all the good stuff we want. But what's really cool about this too is that when our creatures do die, they obviously come right back to my hand, which, you know, that's a ton of value. It's a very expensive angel, and there's not a lot of payoff if they kill it right away, but again, it just makes a lot of sense here because of its big lifelink body. And then other ways to gain life, some planeswalkers here. We got the Wandering Emperor, which, you know, obviously the -2, you gain some life, you get to exile a creature, which is fantastic. So the Wandering Emperor made a ton of sense as a mid-range type of deck that we are. It kind of offers a bit of answers, and giving 1/1 counters to our lifelink bodies is also super helpful. Elspeth, no brainer. Obviously, if we don't have lifelink already, we attach the lifelink to the body like Giada or Voice of the Blessed with its +1, or we can give our flyers that already have lifelink vigilance, which can then allow us to attack and make blocks for doubling the life gain per the turn. And then Sigarda Splendor, man, let's talk about this card for a little bit here. I was running into a serious problem with this deck early on, in that we would run out of juice, right? We'd do our thing, maybe we get swept up off the board, and then we run out of juice. So this card really helps us prevent those problems, because if the opponent wants to sweep our board, it's typically okay if we have 2 Sigarda Splendors on the field, because we're going to constantly be drawing more and more cards to just keep repopulating our board over and over again. And enchantments are much harder to answer than actual creatures and threats. So Sigarda Splendor came through really well in today's build, because it not only draws this card, it gains this life, and it works off the life gain mechanic to draw those cards. So it just synergizes extremely, extremely well today. And then the last card, of course, Lunarch Veteran. This card gains us life every time a creature enters the battlefield, so that plays really well. And then also we have a ton of life gain lands in place of our typical 2-colored lands that would normally come in tapped early, which can be a problem. Obviously, a lot more tap lands means that we're going to be a lot slower. This is definitely up for debate. If you guys want to make the changes to this deck as far as lands go, I've got no gripes or concerns about that. I totally understand. I personally have them in here because it's, if we throw the land down and it gains us 1 life, it triggers the Voice of the Blessed, which then gives us that 1 additional trigger, which might be very, very important. So I threw these in here as a way to just, you know, gain that additional life. But that's the deck in a nutshell, guys. It was a really fun deck. I mean, it's really easy to win with. Honestly, it's very powerful. I can see myself running this to Mythic very, very easily. We ran it on the live stream the other day. Absolutely dominated. So with the meta being so aggro heavy, this is a really nice answer to the problem. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one, man. Happy Friday. Thanks for watching. Before I jump out of here, as always, a huge shout out to the Mardu Mob. The Mardu Mob is the membership program on the channel, so I got to give them all the love and support and shout them out at the end of every video, because they help support me, and I do appreciate that a lot. It absolutely means the world to me, and yeah, I just appreciate them, and I just got to make sure that they understand that I see them, and it doesn't go unnoticed. So thanks for your patronage. I appreciate it a lot. And that will conclude today's video. We'll be back again, of course, on Monday for another one. And yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Till next time, peace.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. The name is Swayze, no Patrick. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the mythic, yeah, that's magic. Yeah, MTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. Where's the upload, man? Man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks, this is the meta. This ain't cheap, yeah.